Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel HK World. I will be talking today about the famous empire. It's Babylon Empire. This Babylon Empire was a measure of the Mesopotamian Empire. Has a distinct between the two periods. First one is called the Old Period, and definitely it was a great period, and another period is called the new period of Babylon. So first I would like to talk about the old empire of Babylon. So Babylon was a small city, and it was not famous from the very beginning, but gradually it becomes very famous by the rulers, those who were very famous in Babylonians. The Amorites, one kind of tribe peoples coming from the neighboring states, now at present in Iran, has come to these areas and built a beautiful empires gradually. The sixth Amorites leader was Hammurabi, who was a great leader and also a charismatic person, because he was famous for his extraordinary workings. Like he was a diplomat, he was a military leader, and he was also a great administrator for a vast empires. Hammurabi was famous for his extraordinary works. Like he has introduced us with a the code of laws, and that these laws had become much popular at the time. Although the historian says that the law of code of laws was very tough and rigorous for the people, but it's undoubtedly said that it was remarkably fantastic works for the Hammurabi. So Hammurabi's code of conduct was fantastic, because code of laws had 282 specific laws. In these laws, he wanted to treat the people, all kind of peoples, but although his effort to treat all kind of peoples, but different law were aligned, ready for the different peoples. Like there were the some laws for the women's and men's, and some laws for the rich and poor, and some laws for the children's, and some laws for the farmers, merchants, laborers, and other things. So in this law book, the code of laws, Hammurabi tried much to deal with the peoples, and definitely it was a fantastic work for him. And these laws of code of laws were engraved in the stones walls, and also placed in different parts of his empire. So this code of laws made him great in the history of the ancient history and the Babylon Empire. And some of the quotes are the laws I'm going to tell you about. That if a man has stolen a sheep, a goat, or a boat from the temple or the palace, he shall repay the 30 times for its cost. And if a person or a man has stolen from private citizens, he shall repay 10 times. But if the thief had been caught, he was put to death. And if a woman accused of her husband that he is not okay, at the time the authorities of the district investigates the matter and try to find out the real things. And the time if the woman is being proved, that she is chaste and she is faultless, and then she shall to return her father's house. So that was the honor of women. And if any woman has been find fault, she shall to put into the rivers, drink to the river for her death. And if a person put out an eye of another person's, he shall also have to be put out his eyes. So these were the rigorous and tough rules and laws for the times, and introduced by the Hammurabi. And Hammurabi's regimes was a fantastic time for the Babylonians, but it's unfortunate that the old Babylonian kingdom was declined by the neighboring states like the Hittites and also the Kassites. Then came to the Assyrians, and after defeating the Assyrians, a Chaldean empire was established, and Chaldean empire was a Nebuchadnezzar, a famous leader and also a famous ruler at the time of the new Babylonian empire, and start and restores the Babylon city and its empire after 1000 years later. The Nebuchadnezzar was a great ruler, and he was also made the history by building beautiful gardens. These gardens were called the hanging gardens. Hanging gardens were fantastic things. There is a legend that when the Nebuchadnezzar's one of his wives missed flowering plants, which was from 75 heights at plains, and from the Babylonians flats, the higher and the dry plants, for satisfying her wife's demand, Nebuchadnezzar had decided that he would make beautiful gardens, but there is a problem, because that was the city was dry and desert areas. So that's why first he made strong walls around the cities, and the walls were so thick that a 4-horse wheel chariot will wheel around the city from on the top of them. So it is clear that the walls were so strong, and for making a garden that was very necessary for watering them. So the water was being brought from the Euphrates river, and some arches and some technical and systems also had been introduced in the gardens, and that was a fantastic things and wonderful things. The Greek scholars listed it as one of the 7th wonders of the world and ancient world. So the hanging garden was extraordinary contribution for Nebuchadnezzar, who was a famous ruler at the time. And in the city he made also a tower. The tower was 300 feet high, and which from the tower the priest could see the stars, and this tower was sight from a long distance, near about 1 mile. From the 1 mile distance it could be sighted. So that was the wonderful contribution of the Nebuchadnezzar, and he was given the credit to the Babylonian as a great empire. And from that times the Nebuchadnezzar became much popular. So the Babylonian emperors were sometimes attacked by some neighboring states, and gradually it had become weaker. And after the new empire began from 625 BC to 539 BC, So that was a wonderful and golden time for the Babylonian empires. And at the end of my lecture, I'd like to say the Babylonian Empire was a great empire during that time. The old time was famous and remarkable for the ruler of Hammurabi's, and the new empire also is famous for Nebuchadnezzar's. So Babylonian Empire undoubtedly was a great empire. So no more today. Thank you very much.